Hi and welcome to Veronika Hug. Today I'll show you how you can do an Entrelac style in Tunisian crocheting starting from the middle. For that I have the Half Knot Fine 133, which is its length, and it's 50 grams per spool, 50% virgin wool and 50% acrylic. Today I'll be using two colors and a 4mm crocheting hook. We are starting in the middle with a little loop and 7 chains. This one chain on my hook is my first stitch, so out of the second chain I'll do a new stitch, and the same I'm gonna do with the rest of them. Now that I have 7 loops on my needle, the first one I'll do with a chain, and the rest I'll do 2 loops at a time. So if you've already done Tunisian crocheting, then you know what this is, and it's what I call the very basic stitch or basic pattern. Of course, if you're new to Tunisian crocheting, you can take a look at my other videos. I have some Tunisian crocheting basics. So since that's what you really need to be able to do this project we're doing today. So yeah, now the last stitch we do by going through 2 loops, and then we will take the yarn through, and we again have 7 stitches on our hook. So now we again do a chain, and we go back as we always do. And again we start 7 new stitches, and the last one we always go through 2. One, 2, and the third is below the one row we're doing now. Now we have the 4th done, and we need 1 more. A chain to go back, and then always 2 loops at a time. Now that we finished the first square, we want to do a chain, and then we can finish it up. So go into the second loop and take the yarn through both loops on your hook. These are called slip stitches. And now we can cut the yarn short and pull through. Now we're doing our second square, so let's take the second color, in my case a bright strong pink. So I'm not taking a corner with the leftover yarn because I'll work those later. You'll see why. So anyway, here on the lower section, I go through and I do 6 chains. This loop here is again my first stitch, and now I'll start new stitches out of the chains until I have 6 loops total. The 7th comes out of here, out of the first row. And the beginning thread we're taking with us to reduce the amount of weaving in steps when we're done. Now we can always do 2 at a time, so this time we aren't doing a chain first, we are just starting with 2 at a time right away. Six loops again, then start the next row out of the gray section and again just go back. Third, fourth, and always take the beginning yarn with you. If you've seen my other videos, then you already know that I don't really like weaving in the end, so in my projects I always try to do that as I go. Fifth row, one, two, three, four, five. So I'm finishing this square. I'm doing an extra chain and again the slip stitches to finish up. Now here into the lower section of the stitch, we do another slip stitch, and then I'll again do 6 chains. The beginning here in the pink I can already shorten. And now we continue with 6 chains. And then again start new stitches. Six on the hook, and out of the side stitch comes the 7th. If you don't really know where you should go through, you can count back. 5th row, then 4th, 3rd, 2nd, and then your 1st row. So here, and I'm connecting 5 times total. I forgot the gray yarn, but we're gonna take it with us. The second square we just do like we did the one before. Again, just keep starting rows out of the existing square. Take your beginning piece with you so that you don't have to weave it in later. Then we will again shorten it because we don't need the rest. Fifth row, almost done. Cut the yarn short and then we can finish up extra chain and slip stitches to the other end. Now here in the lower section, 6 chains, and here 6 stitches or 6 chains. And then we count back 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Here is my starting spot since I have 5 rows total. And again, take the gray with you. And you keep working like that until you have all 4 sides done of the gray one, just like you can see here. Now start the third round. So this one, then the second with 4 square, then the third starts here, first, second, and third, and then 4 and 5 and 6, 7, 8 total, and that's our third round. So here is my first square. So we are again starting with a different color, a third one if you're doing 3. 6 chains as always. Let me just get to that. Then again 6 new stitches out of the chains. Now count back 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, there it is. And the beginning yarn comes with us right away. And again. So you can very quickly get the hang of it. It's actually a pretty relaxed project we're doing today. Now I'm finishing as always, extra chain and slip stitches. Then we continue here, so I don't have to start any chains. I'll actually start my stitches from the pink square. So I'm going into my first one. So I did a slip stitch and shortened. And then we can continue. Here is where we start new stitches. Four, 6, and the 7th out of the 5th spot. Here. The end yarn of the other color comes with us again, but from here on you know what to do, so I don't have to do any more new chains. So I'm just starting from my existing squares, and it makes everything a lot faster and easier to do. I'm at row 5. And finish up the stitches, extra chain and slip stitches to the other end, as always. So my third square will go here, so this time I'll need the 6 chains for the bottom side. So we don't do it as much as before, but you still need to do some. No end or beginning pieces sticking out, exactly what we wanted. Into the bottom section, I go in and I do 6 chains. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, and we do the 7th stitch and then we start our third square of the third round. So we can always do the same. So each side gets 2 squares. So the first one always needs the new chains and the second one already has a spot for starting stitches. Here, this is the first side and this is the second one. So the second square of the second row. And here we always do slip stitches to the other corner. Count back. 5, here we go through. There we go, pretty easy. And now here we will again do 6 new chains for the square on top. And then here and here we have the third row. And here we have the 6 chains and then the last 2 squares. I'm at the last square of the third round, so this one is one of the easier ones. So we started the stitches out of the pink. And then we have the third round done. Slip stitches and then we're finished. Close up and that's it. And now we start a new color. So I know I said I was going to do 2, but then you won't have the beginning and the middle as emphasized as I would like it to be. So the rows that way are gonna just overpower it a little bit. So we're again starting here with the square with 6 chains. Second and third, we can start from the squares that we already have here. So that's the first side, then the second side starts here with the 6 chains, and then you're gonna have the 3 squares total on the second side, and here you again start with 6 chains, and then you do the 3 squares again. At the corner section is where you start the 6 chains, and the last 3 squares of this side are that way gonna be all done. So that's how you're gonna get the third side done. Again, bottom section through and 6 chains. Then 6 new loops. Five into the 5th, we take our beginning piece with us, so everything stays just like we did it so far. Third row. And 5th. So we are finishing with an extra chain and the slip stitches. Here we connect with a slip stitch, shorten the beginning piece, and these two we can start out of the gray squares we already have done. Six chains there. 5, this is where we start, and then we work back. Of course, if you like this video, feel free to let me know in the comment section. You can also click thumbs up to let me know you enjoyed it. Of course, if you're interested in other projects we do, feel free to check out the entire channel. You can also stay updated with everything new that I post by simply subscribing or clicking on the subscribe button right under the video, so that way you're always going to get notified every time I post something new on the channel. So I do a lot of Tunisian crocheting, a lot of regular crocheting, knitting, and actually from time to time some special projects that are really unique. Last row, almost done. I'll also show you in a second part of this video how to finish up a piece like this, but for now I just wanted to show you how to get started from the middle in the Tunisian crocheting style. Otherwise this video would have been way too long, so we will split it in 2 parts to keep it simpler. Anyway, make sure to stay tuned for that and let me know what you think of this first part. Five, and we can now start a new one. So you see that this one is also starting from the gray. The next one we're going to start out of the new 6 chains. The last one is almost done, so we're almost done with this side. Just the slip stitches now. Connect here in the bottom loop, and then we have this side done. So here comes the next row then, the next side. So I hope you found this useful. Feel free to let me know what you think in the comments. See you next time. Bye!